What is one unforgettable memory that you guys have of Deepavali? Like for myself, I think when I went into uni, like I was not expecting to make a lot of Indian friends in uni, but I joined the Tamil Literary Society there, and I was actually given the opportunity to organize a Deepavali carnival, and it was like the first time I've done it, but it was really fun because I had so many people like helping me, and we managed to have like many performances, and then we even had like a banana leaf dinner in one of the hall of residences. So that is one memory that I will never forget. Yeah, and all those friends who helped me out on that day are like my lifelong friends that I'm still in touch with now. So yeah, that is for me. Like for you guys?
For me, although I spent a lot of my my primary school days having exams on Diwali day, those strangely are some of my best memories, because that evening, once you finish and you close your assessment book, we would go to my uncle's warehouse, where you see all of our family members who also ran businesses, who were here to do the Chopra Pujan, which is to open the new ledger and do the prayer. So after that prayer, it's a feast. You know, you've got your rojak, you've got your dosai, you've got everything, and we were kids. It was a big warehouse. We would do the one thing that any guy would do, play block catching. You know, we would go do that, and then when the evening came, we would have crackers and we throw bomb bags into other people's offices. I'm sorry, guys. You know, we would do all this mischief. You know, I thought it was that once a year we could just get together and do that. So seriously, some of my best memories.
Yeah, so actually similar to Hafiza, I have many nice Diwali memories, but one that I really will always remember was basically I was part of the NUS Sikh Society back when I was in NUS, and there was one year where we organized a big collaborative Diwali party. So the different Indian groups came together and we organized this big event that included like many different performances and like parts of the different Indian subcultures. So for example, we had Bhangra, we had like South Indian cultural like practices along with like the North Indian practices, and there was even like other cultural groups that weren't Indian that came to perform. So yeah, I think that is something that really shows what we as very like diverse Indian groups can come together and do like on one very nice event. Yeah, so like one very nice memory I have of that night was, so one of my best friends, she's Chinese, and it was like her first time coming, because at the end of the event there's this like disco part, you know, so it was very nice because like, oh, there's like North Indian music, there's like South Indian music, so like she was enjoying herself so much, and I was like, wow, we just have to go to an Indian dance club soon because you like, seems like you love this music. So yeah, it's very nice to see like different like everyone coming together for this type of event. Yeah, so it's something I always remember.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I used to help my mom do the spring cleaning, because that is a very, very major activity that is, you know, that people don't see, but it's very iconic for me because I have to help her do all the cleaning, and sometimes, you know, she will get very upset when I become a bit lazy. But now that I don't do that anymore as much, I think the part that I remember the most was one year when all my friends came to my house, and I didn't know who I was inviting. I was just inviting all my friends. Then when I saw the picture at the end, I realized not many Indians attended my Deepavali celebration. It was more, because of course they have their own visiting to do, but all my friends actually came together to come and celebrate this occasion with me. And it made it not just seem like an Indian event, it made it more like a Singaporean Deepavali celebration. And I think it was so beautiful that, you know, all of them enjoyed themselves, and we tried to westernize it by playing heads up and stuff like that. Yeah. But it was still, you know, in line with the culture as much as we can. Yeah.
So like Indian heads up.
Indian heads up.
So actually my memory is quite different from the stories that you guys shared. So you know, normally for Deepavali we have the Deepavali Bazaar, right? I think I was 8 years old and I went there with my parents and my brother. And somewhere when we were walking around the bazaar, I got distracted with one of those kiddie outfits for Deepavali. It was very cute, so I just stopped, and I think they just left me there and walked off. So I mean, like, obviously they didn't do it on purpose, but I got lost.
Good to know.
I got lost, and for like a good 5 minutes, I was very frantic, and I was like hysterically crying because the whole place is very crowded, right? It was the eve of Deepavali, and thank God I got lost next to a sweet stall. So the auntie saw me and she was like, okay, never mind, you come sit here first, let your parents do the rounds, confirm they'll come back to the same place where they lost you and they'll find you. So I was crying, and to calm me down, she gave me gulab jamun.
Best.
So and it started there. I think I had like a good 6 free gulab jamuns that day. And my parents came back, they just found me eating gulab jamun happily, not being bothered that I was lost. Because they were announcing over the speaker also, like searching for Maga Lakshmi. But I just like didn't have a care in the world. The only thing that mattered to me at that time was getting more free gulab jamun. So how I link it to like the analogy of life is that no matter how much chaos there is in a year, finally just on Deepavali you just eat gulab jamun and chill.
I think one aspect of the tradition that we practice, and I actually want to keep practicing, is something that happens on Diwali day more often than not, which is touching the feet of your elders. You know, waking up in the morning, the first thing in the morning is if you have grandparents at home, parents, you touch their feet, and that's what I do. It's a bit heavy. I did mention I'm a big Bollywood fan, so but this is something that I wish to keep doing. I think it's a nice touch to just acknowledge that they've been around for you.
Yeah, we actually do that as well at home. Yeah, like touching feet. So yeah.
When I was young, my father used to be like, okay, it's time now, you have to, get our blessings, and I would be so unhappy about it. But now I'm like, okay guys, please bless me, come on, what are you all waiting for?
Yes. Sometimes if there's a lot of elders, I would say I'll prostrate, you all walk. So I don't have to get up.
A little trick as a kid that I used to have is that when you touch the feet of an elder, they give you a bit of an ang pao,
Yes. Who can forget getting those little pockets of happiness?
Yes, ang paos.
For this year's Deepavali, we're going to celebrate it probably very differently considering the COVID-19 pandemic. And how do you think you all are going to navigate celebrating Deepavali with these current measures?
I think it's all about planning our celebrations properly. Since we have this kind of a restriction where we can't really gather in groups of 30 or 40 anymore, I think it's about that. And I also think that right now it's the time for us to realize that Deepavali is not just about partying with our friends or anything like that, but it's also about keeping those values with us and making sure that this time the compassion for our friends come out, this time the love for them comes out. Whether is it virtually or if you meet them in person, I think we have to focus more on that aspect of Deepavali this year.
Agreed. I think like this year will also be a chance for like me to also really think about like, for example, like what Bandi Chore is really about. Like it's not just, I mean, although that's a fun part of Diwali, I feel like the meaning of it, maybe this year is a good way for us to actually think about it more. Agreed, yeah.
I think for myself, I think when lockdown was happening was the period of Ramadan and Hari Raya. So this year the way we celebrated was really different. And I think we even had like an online Eid event where we celebrated Eid over Zoom. So we had like musical performances, we had like people sharing wishes for each other's families, and like even for Deepavali, like me and my friends, we have like decided to meet via Zoom on in one of the evenings. So like I think we just have to adapt, and I don't think we would stop celebrating just because COVID is here. I think we can always get one step ahead of it.
Technology has really prevailed during this COVID-19 pandemic. Everything is, you have every shopping platform is now online. Like the Deepavali Bazaar will also be online this year, and all these other meeting up with friends will be slightly different. But I think Deepavali is in November, so I think we have already experienced the whole doing things online for quite a bit. So it's not going to be a total foreign concept to us. Especially during circuit breaker, we were all like Zooming with friends and stuff like that. But like you said, I really agree that I think because every year we are so focused on the tangible festivities and the loud celebrations that maybe it's a good time for us to remind ourselves what Deepavali is about and what our respective celebrations are about. And it's quite introspective for us this year. And if it means that we have to spend the entire day spending time with our family, I think that is very fruitful as well. On that note, I hope all of you enjoy the festivities this year. Have lots of fun.
அனைவருக்கும்
Deepavali
நல்வாழ்த்துக்கள்.
Happy Deepavali!